Something big is happening right now in the XRP world. And if you hold XRP, you need to hear this today. We've got a senator going after Ripple again. The Fed potentially stalling Ripple's master account all the way to late 2026. And at the same time, banks are literally going to Congress and saying they need companies like Ripple to help them with crypto. I'm going to break all of it down for you right now. Stay with me. I'm your host on XRP Verified. Let's get into it. Let's start with Senator Elizabeth Warren. She sent a letter to the OCC, that's the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, asking them to hand over full application details for recently approved bank charters in the crypto space. Now here's what caught my eye. She listed 9 companies in that letter. And guess who she put at the very top of that list? Ripple National Trust. Not in alphabetical order, not by size. Ripple, first. That is not a coincidence. That is a target. Warren has a long history of pushing back against crypto. And right now, at a time when Ripple is trying to get its banking license approved, she's in there asking the OCC to explain every single approval. This is a pattern, folks. Same playbook, different day. Now here's where it gets even more frustrating. The Federal Reserve has asked its regional banks to hit pause on approving new master accounts for what they call Tier 3 institutions. That includes fintech companies and crypto-native firms. And yes, that includes Ripple. Ripple applied for a master account through its trust company subsidiary. Because it's not a traditional insured bank, it falls into that Tier 3 category, which means it gets the most scrutiny, and now, the longest wait. The Fed says they need to finish building out their new policy framework first, before they move forward on these applications. And based on current timelines, that might not happen until the end of 2026. Now, is this connected to Warren's pressure? That's a fair question. We don't have proof of that yet. But when you see a senator publicly targeting a company, and then a regulator pumping the brakes on that same company's application, you have to wonder. I'll be watching this closely, and I'll update you the moment anything changes. Okay, here's where it gets almost unbelievable. While all this political noise is happening on one side, on the other side, banks are showing up to congressional hearings and literally telling lawmakers, we cannot do this alone. We need third-party technology partners for digital asset custody, for tokenized deposits, for crypto infrastructure. Think about what that means. The same banking system that has been pushing back against crypto is now raising its hand in front of Congress and saying, we need help from companies like Ripple. And look, that makes total sense when you think about it. Banks are not tech companies. They don't have the engineers. They don't have the blockchain developers. Building this kind of infrastructure from scratch would take them 3 to 5 years minimum. They don't have that kind of time. The world is moving now. So what do? They call companies like Ripple, companies that have already built the rails, already tested the tech, already have the partnerships, already have over a decade of real-world use. This congressional testimony is quietly one of the most bullish signals we've seen for Ripple in a long time, and most people missed it. Let me put some numbers on this so you understand the scale of what we're talking about. There are roughly 4,800 commercial banks in the United States, around 4,400 credit unions. That's nearly 10,000 financial institutions that are going to need blockchain infrastructure, and most of them have done almost nothing to prepare for it. On top of that, there are about 37,000 fintech companies worldwide. The US fintech market alone is valued at around $85 billion today, and it's projected to triple by 2032. Every single one of these institutions is going to need someone to help them build or plug in to the new financial rails. And Ripple has spent years quietly connecting to the biggest payment networks and financial software providers in the world. Companies that are already connected to thousands of banks themselves. This is why Brad Garlinghouse has talked about flipping 1,000 small switches one by one. We're starting to see those switches turn on, fast. There's one more thing I want to highlight today, because this is a big deal and it's not getting enough attention. Vanak, a major financial research firm, just put out a report in March 2026 called The Rise of Corporate Chains. And in it, they specifically call out Ripple and the XRP Ledger as core banking infrastructure for the coming era of tokenized business networks. When a serious research house starts using language like core infrastructure, institutions pay attention. This is the kind of validation that shifts how banks, hedge funds, and institutional investors think about XRP. And speaking of institutions, Bank of America now holds over 13,000 shares in an XRP volatility ETF. We're approaching 900 million XRP sitting inside ETFs right now. Wall Street is getting in position quietly. Monica Long from Ripple said late last year that 2025 would be the year the doors blow off. And honestly, looking at everything happening right now, it feels like that moment is getting very close. So here's the bottom line. Yes, there's political noise. Warren is doing what she always does. The Fed is moving slow. That's frustrating, no question. But zoom out. Banks are going to Congress and asking for help from companies like Ripple. Major research firms are calling XRP infrastructure core to the future of finance. Institutions are quietly buying exposure. The demand is real. The adoption is coming. If you're holding XRP, stay patient, stay informed, and stay positioned. If this video helped you understand what's happening, drop a like and subscribe to XRP Verified. I put these updates out so you always know what's going on before everyone else does. I'll see you in the next one.